Happiness. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining. We now have about 380 subscribers, and I want to let you know that you 380 folks, I'm doing these videos for you. It originally started with just, I don't know, a handful of people asking me to see my collection in more entirety than just one boot a week on Facebook or Instagram. So you guys, you know who you are, you original guys that started me. Thank you. It's fun. I got to get inspired. Sorry I missed last week. But also, there's a lot of statistics if you go further in YouTube and you're doing videos, you can click on them. And I see that a lot of folks are only watching like a minute, less than 5 minutes maybe of the videos. I know they're generally about 15 minutes. I try and keep them around there less. It's hard for me to take time to watch that kind of video. So you guys that are only watching a little bit, if you're new or you get to the channel, there is stuff at the end. And it's not always about boots. Sometimes it's about life. Sometimes it's philosophical things, spiritual things, just self-help kind of messages. So if you can't watch the whole thing, just stop watching. Go do what you got to do, your responsibilities. Come back later and finish it. That would be great. Well, today is the fancy Iron Ranger multi-review. And this is my Iron Ranger collection right now. And we did Iron Rangers that were 8-inch. Iron Rangers that were actually not Iron Rangers, that were the predecessors to the Iron Rangers. If you haven't seen that video, that's a couple videos before this, a couple weeks before this. But these are just your good old school, new school of the old style Iron Ranger. What has just come out is these beautiful slate Muleskinner Iron Rangers. And I know one of my YouTube heroes is CJ Cook. I like watching that very handsome young guy, and he quotes the numbers. I try and quote a lot of numbers, but I don't have any of these numbers down, I don't think. This is all unedited and unscripted, so I don't have the ability, because I'm old and technology challenged, to kind of put up the right number or the right word. Sometimes you'll hear me miss a word, and I think you know what I mean, but sorry for that. But these are called the 8087s. Slate Muleskinner Iron Rangers. I don't know if it's still on the site. I waited for like 2 years after I saw the original announcement. It was the year before COVID. I think it was 2019 of the summer they were supposed to come out. And so that's like 3 years later they came out. They're hecka cool. We are going to be doing mock toes probably soon. I got a lot of Red Wings, by the way. My Red Wing shirt. I think you heard me talk about a fella on the Instagram, called Damn Good Gear. And he provided those cases, those old school suitcase looking cases that I have those old Irish Setter Kangaroo sport boots in. And if you haven't seen or don't kind of subscribe to emails from Red Wing, they're having a different kind of a setup going on right now. It's just a different direction they're heading in a small way. And they're selling some used boots. And so Damn Good Gear sold me this out of his personal collection, and I just put it on. I love it. It's an XL because I'm a fatty. Fits me great. Thank you, Mr. Damn Good Gear. But he has coordinated with Red Wing flagship store in Manhattan, New York City for the launch of this Red Wing memorabilia and vintage used boots for sale. And some of them, I don't know if they're exactly for sale right now, but some of them are on their site. You can look at everything on the Red Wing site. I think it's kind of cool. There's an old pair of paratrooper boots that he provided to them that I don't have any of those. I have other old vintage Army boots. I don't know if we've done that yet. If we haven't, we will do vintage military style boots. But he found the Red Wing paratrooper boots, and they are on there. So check that out if you're a Red Wing purist. That's a fun thing. Here's another pair. I don't know. This might be my favorite pair of Iron Rangers. I just love green, but I just love blue too. I'm a colorful person. And so, yeah, that's what I want to tell you about some people that tune in and tune out. Maybe I'm too weird for them. I'm weird. I know that. I'm weird good. Stick with it. Stick with me. If you're bored, don't watch. This is the 8117. And this is a blue Looks like a mule skinner leather. I forget what they call it, navy Abilene rough out or something like that. And they have a brown sole. The slate has the black sole. Okay, look at these. The slate has the black mini lug, and the navy has the old cork brownish sole. I'm digging these. I know I always say that, but I really like them. They're cool. They're hard, really, really hard to get. I just found them brand new somewhere. I don't know, it was overseas or from LA, rail car, maybe one of those places. And I snagged those a couple years ago. Worn them a few times. These are on the site right now, or they were a couple weeks ago when I just got them. So they have, like I was going to say, I think the slate mock toes. And I got those two. And these, I love gray. Gray's a cool color. I struggle with burgundy. I don't have a lot of burgundy boots. I really love burgundy or color number 8, whatever you call them. I'm wearing some burgundy mock toe Beckmans right now, the 9010s. I'm inspired by my friend Ron from Chicago. He's really into the Beckmans and the Beckman mock toes. He knows all about that. He schools me on that all the time. But I guess you just got to wear burgundy with blue jeans, and that's what I'm wearing, some Indigo Farah jeans right now with this outfit. I have these, and one of my very good friends from Copenhagen, I have a few friends in Copenhagen, you know who you are, I love you, scored me these. These were used. These are the Wrench Monkey. Wrench Monkey, I think, is a speed shop or motorcycle shop. They collaborated with Red Wing, and it's all blacked out. You might have seen, I think I did my Mexico collection. I don't know if I didn't. I have to do that when I get back down to my closet in Mexico. I have a pair of waxed rough out. These are a waxed rough out leather. Hecka cool. And I have a pair that one of my cobblers did for me, but they have a little brown line, the midsole. I guess it's not a midsole. They don't have a midsole, but the welt is a little brown line. And these are just completely blacked out, super rare. Guys dig them. They are the 4545. I knew that one. And go figure, 666 pairs were made of this. I don't know. It's a weird number. I don't really like the number, but I love the boots. Wrench Monkeys, a Danish company, collaborated with a hecka cool boot. Happy to get those. And thank you, my beautiful friend in Copenhagen, for getting these for me. Now, I have another friend. I have many friends, of course, you know me, that lives in Germany. Mark and Inez, I love you. I love you so much. And this is a speed shop or motorcycle attire place. I think it's in Hamburg, called Writer's Room. Writer's Room collaborated with Red Wing. I think it was this year. It wasn't this year, it was last year. And came up with this. Look at that. It's like my Indigo Farah climbers or my old 919s or 920 climbers. You know I love green. Looks like a Dr. Soul full sole, but it's all stamped red. It's a Red Wing green, army green full sole. I think it came with these green laces too. I don't know that I put those on there. The number is, there is no number. Because, check it out. Those have that old tag in them. They're vintage. There was only like, I think they might have re-released some. The original release was something like 57 pairs. The Germans know all about these. Somebody put the number of these, or I will put a comment down there of the number of these. I've never seen them for sale online or anything. I just saw them, I think, on Instagram. One of the guys in one of the German Red Wing groups had them. And I asked my friend, he goes, oh yeah. My friend, he's such a good friend to me, Mark. He goes, I'm going to go by there. I'll go by there and pick them up for you. And he picked these up and shipped them to me. Oh, happy day. These are heckin' cool. They are black. They have a stitching. It looks like it's even a green stitching there. I don't know. It may not. Yeah, it looks everything green. I'm loving those. Those are super cool. So these are kind of specialty Red Wings. I know the slates just came out on their site, but all these are kind of rare to me. The reason the slates are rare to me because I waited 3 years to get them. I have these. These are the original mule skinner leather that you see a lot of. These are the 8083s. I don't think these were brand new. I don't know. I guess they were. And I bought them from a cobbler, resold out of the box with a Dr. Sol cork looking whitish sole. I'm really liking those. The half sole. See the half sole, if you have the full sole, you see the rubber goes all the way across. And right in this area. And if you have the half sole, I really like the look. I'm happy with its full sole. I adore them. But you have the half sole right here, which is that little notch, and it makes it kind of a different profile, a little bit more high-heeled looking. It's not really. These heels are pretty much the same height, but the half sole gives that appearance of a little bit more height right there. And so those are the Muleskin and Leather 8083. And I think I bought them that way from one of my cobblers that did them out of the box. Lastly, of these fancy Iron Rangers, and these, you've seen all the Iron Rangers I have now. You've seen the Indian Motorcycle 8-inch ones in the amber harness leather. You have seen all of the predecessors, I think they're the 915s and the I don't remember the other number, of the steel toe versions. This is the rest of my Iron Rangers. I may get more, but this is it right now. These are the 808.5s. So there's 808.3, 808.5, and that's 808.7. These are copper rough and tough leather. I totally like I think the copper rough and tough, out of all the brands and boots and everything I have, the copper rough and tough leather is my favorite. And I'll tell you why. They call it infused with oils and fats and waxes or whatever. I don't know. It's infused with stuff. So, in other words, I think that the leather was soaked with a lot of things that continue to come out. You look at them, these were new out of the box, and if you look at them, they got a lot of color variation there. Now, I haven't put anything on them. You see the toes kind of shiny? You know what I do? A lot of guys, okay, let me tell you a story. I had a charcoal rough and tough. There's 3 rough and tough leathers. There's a concrete rough and tough that looks kind of cloudy. It's brown. There's a charcoal rough and tough, which looks grayish, blackish. And there's the copper rough and tough. They all have these variations in leather. The copper rough and tough seems to keep the variations longer or better. With my charcoals, I wear them, I clean my boots every time I wear them. I brush them. If there's scuffs on the soles, the ones with the white crepe sole, I clean it every time. If there's any little scuffs, I brush them. Sometimes I'll put a neutral polish on them. But I did that one day. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th wear of my charcoal rough and toughs. And I think they're in Mexico now. But I scuffed up the soles. I cleaned them. Then I had some scuffs on them. And they were super cool and cloudy looking. And I put some neutral on there that's not supposed to change the color. And it turned them black. And I've seen other guys that have put the wrong stuff or too much stuff or any stuff at all on the copper rough and tough, and it just turns them like a brownish color. They're still a little bit more orangey than the amber harness, but it's not this. It's not that cool. See how the heel and the toe get kind of darker there? So what I would recommend, this is what I do. I have different horsehair brushes. I have some white shoes. I know many people don't like white shoes, but I love all kinds of boots. And so I have a special brush for the lighter colored things that I don't want to get anything on, because I don't wash my horsehair brushes very much. And so what I will do is they get a little bit of polish residue on them, of course. So all I do with these copper rough and toughs is they can get, I can scratch it with my fingernail right now and you see a line on this kind of leather. But you get scuffs, especially from driving the car, on the mat of the car, you get scuffs back there. I just use the horsehair brush and I just brush them. And the little bit of residue from other waxes or polishes that are on the brush, they just kind of pick up on the round areas when I'm just kind of scrubbing it with that dry brush, and it just gets on the heel and there, and it makes a cool looking patina on those. These are Honey Vibram. Look at the screws in the toe and the nails. I like Honey Vibram. It's very comfortable and soft, gentlemen say. It wears out quicker, gentlemen say. And these were changed to a larger and a different eyes and speed hooks on there too, to a bright brass. I don't know what it came with. Um, but that is my Iron Ranger collection and my multi-fancy Iron Ranger review. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you today about was your parents. I know not everyone has good parents or had good parents. Some parents are mediocre at best. I really feel like a bad parent sometimes, or a mediocre parent. I hope my kids love me and forgive me for all the learning that I do at their expense. And if you're watching, the four of you, I love you very much. And I'm trying every day to become the better version of me. And you are included in my heart and in my mind and in my prayers and in everything I do. And when I screw up, I know it affects you too. Please forgive me. My mother's here right now. And if you look at my Instagram or my Facebook posts, and if you're in any of the groups today, I'm going to try and include her in that. For you Germans, she's half German. For you from Scotland, she's half Scottish. She's not from those countries. It's our heritage here in the United States. We had German and Scottish people coming here to build this land. But what I wanted to talk to you about your parents, and it was kind of reminded this message by my mother being here, and then my neighbor AVFJ40, the cabinet maker you've seen in some of my videos, his shop. He has his dad is getting very old. My dad has passed away, but he does a lot of stuff for his dad, and his parents just moved, and he's setting them up in their new home, and he's just really good to his parents, and they're a beautiful older Mexican couple, and he inspires me. My two sisters, especially the younger one, care for my mother most of the time, and the love and the happiness that I have that they're doing the day-to-days and the doctor's appointments and stuff for my mom is just an innumerable amount of respect and love and thanks that I have for my two sisters for caring for my mother. She's here for the week and we're so excited and happy. I think it's in all the major religions, and there's some things that we think about, some verses that say, honor your father and mother and you shall live long in the land. What does that mean, to honor your father and mother? Especially if you have parents that maybe they're still not right. Maybe you survived your parents. Maybe that's as good as it got. In the United States, I don't think so much in other countries. I think they have multi-generational homes and families. I know that's how it is in Mexico to a certain extent, and everybody cares for each other. Your parents cared for you when you could not care for yourself. Okay? I'm going to talk to you about your parents and caring for your parents. Again, I want to stress that if there is somebody, including your parents or anybody, that brings out anger and hatred and violence and depression and bad feelings in you, you need to stay away from that. And you need to take responsibility for your own feelings too. I mean, they may have done you wrong, but somehow you got to get past that and grow up and honor them. Maybe sometimes honoring them is the best you can do. It's just to forgive them for the things they did to you, or the things you know that you can't forgive. Maybe you just need to forgive. And forgiveness is not, when people say God loves you, God forgives you, God might have the ability to forgive and to forget. We can't as human beings. The best that we can do in forgiveness is to forgive and not to continually remind people of the wrong they did to you. Not to remind them at all. That's forgiveness in the human form. That's forgiveness for us. Is to try and put it in a place in your heart that it's in the past. Let them know you're not treating them differently because of that anymore. And move forward. Now, if it continues to be bad, you're going to have to stay away from it till you can deal with it. But for many of us in the United States, we just tend to cram our parents into rest homes, convalescent homes, old folks homes, whatever you call them. Sometimes people need full-time care, and you can't do it. Sometimes they need to be in a hospital. You're not a doctor. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's your biological parents. Maybe it's your step parents. Maybe it's your adopted parents. Maybe it's your aunt and your uncle. Maybe it's your grandparents that raised you. Maybe it's foster parents. Many of these people cared for you when you could not care for yourself, and you need to check on them. You know, I, some of them, they may have Alzheimer's or dementia, they don't know the difference. Maybe you need to do it for you. Maybe there's a part of you inside that is going to maybe you're going to punish yourself if you don't do right. So I'm just talking about checking on your parents, forgiving them if there's something to forgive, being there for them. I had great parents, thank God. And I feel safe and happy all the time. And I know some of you don't, and I know it's from your childhood. If you are a younger person and you have a bad relationship with your parents, again, I would ask you to reach out to people who can become mentors to you. They're out there. People that love you, or people that just have a great love for mankind and all people. And there are people that you can emulate, people that you can use as role models, and you could still honor your parents by forgiving them, and you can honor them by using somebody else as a role model if they weren't a good one. I hope this helps. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you know that the Carpenter loves you. Happiness.